No monthly money.
I know, right? All right, guys, welcome back to another wonderful, fun fact, action-packed, information-filled episode of Love Crossing Borders. My name is Andre.
My name is Sandra.
And we are
Love
Love Crossing
Crossing
Borders. We appreciate you guys being here today. We're going to have some special guests in today, so we appreciate that. And we're going to be talking about today is what's going on in Colombia with the protests, what's going on with the rioters. And if you are a tourist that's on your way here or you're already here, what can you do in regards to safety, making sure that you still have fun and enjoy yourself? So we're going to talk about that, answer any questions that you guys have. We're going to go through the comment section. So first of all, we're going to start to see how Andre is doing this week.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
How you doing this week?
It is stressful, crazy. We got a lot going on this last week, and we got a lot going on this week. So yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Jay. What's up, you guys? I'm ready for this conversation tonight. Yeah. We're ready too.
All right.
Terry saying in the house, Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Borders.
All right. I've got one more thing I need to do. I'll be right back. Right back. Let us know how the stream looks. Is it freezing? Mm-hmm. Is it looking good on camera? Mm-hmm. Let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys has in the news and everything, and Andre got two faces. In everything that we be dealing right now with the protesting and the new tax reform 2021. So it has been kind of hard for the country, of course. If you see the news and the videos, Cali is the city where you see the most protesting right now. And it has been kind of rough for everybody. For today, I after that 4 days that the protesting has been going on and on, I finally went to a grocery store, and seriously, it was really surprising because there's no food. The principal stuff they need for eat onion. Okay.
My fault, guys. That was all, Andre. You can blame me.
Yeah.
Put it on me.
Yeah. As I was saying, there's no fruit, there's no vegetables in the supermarket. The big ones. I went today to Éxito here in nothing, no eggs, no chicken, no red meat. It's just waiting line, no gasoline. I'm just talking just in Cali. I don't know the other cities, Medellin, Bogota, Pereira. No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the other cities, but here in Cali, the line to get gasoline is long, right? And we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. They say that tomorrow we still continue having
more protesting,
but I get the point why people are still protesting.
And could you explain a little bit about? We're gonna have one of our guests, Domain, come in a few moments. Mm-hmm. But could you explain a little bit about why they're protesting? You were talking earlier about the international debt, and then why they start raising the tax and so forth. Could you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, Colombia owns a lot of money to international banks in countries, and why the government wants it's accumulate amount of money to pay that debt, right? So, I mean, last year the government spent a lot of money in stuff that for us is unnecessary, like I said, helicopters, like trucks or camionetas, cars, security. When a country during the 2020, we have been battled with this pandemic and still going on the pandemic, right? So there's a lot of businesses that have been closed. There are a lot of families that they don't have job, they don't have any income and food. So what the government wants is accumulate that amount of money to pay the debt, but they want to accumulate the money from taxes. They want to include more taxes for the middle class, and that's coming to us because we are middle class, right? So they want to put taxes in the food. They want to put taxes in gasoline. They want to put taxes in funeral service, in electronics, and more in more taxes. So that's the part today when the president say there's no tax reform is going to remove the tax reform, but the fact is, or what he means is they're going to change the test inside the tax reform, and there's more than 100 articles in the tax reform, and they just want to change two. So
Right.
that's not fair.
Right. So, how much in debt is Colombia trying to pay back to the international banks?
The number, I would like to see if I say a number, but they want to accumulate $6 billion.
So $6 billion. Hey, Camilo and Felicia. So $6 billion they're trying to get the middle class to pay as far as taxes.
Exactly.
Now, mind you, they're not trying to tax the rich. They're not trying to tax the poor because the poor don't have any money. But those of us that are in the middle, they're trying to raise taxes on in the middle of a pandemic, while all the middle classes are losing their businesses, while all the middle classes are losing their income, their jobs. A lot of them that had little small businesses that were probably on the side of the road, they've lost those. So at the same time, the government wants to raise taxes. It sounds like back home in the States as well. Government wants to raise taxes at the same time while everybody's lost their jobs. And so that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, that's right. And they want to put taxes when Colombia, the salario minimum, the minimum salary is $290. Let's
Right.
put 1 million something, so $280-$90. Depends the dollar, right? But it's so low. It's incredible. It's so low. So they want to put more tax to that. So that's why people have been fighting to remove literally the tax reform.
Right. Absolutely correct. We're going to bring what we're going to talk about today as our topic. We're going to talk about 5 things that you can do as a tourist here in Colombia to make sure that you're safe. Because there are a lot of people that either are foreigners here that relocated here, such as myself, or you have individuals that have just are visiting, and you didn't even know there was going to be a protest. So you got off the plane, you thought you about to have fun in Colombia, or a lot of people come to Cali because they know that it is a we could get a lot of cosmetic surgeries or veneers. But now they're here, they're kind of stuck, and they're wondering, okay, what do I do to stay safe? So we're going to talk about the 5 things. But one thing we're going to do now is bring our guests in. So let's get ready to bring our guests in real quick. We're excited. Great individuals that always are on board. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get this set up for just be able to see everybody.
That one? Okay.
There we go. Let's see if we can make it a little better.
I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's better.
That's better.
Bam. Hey guys. So,
Hi, how are you?
all right, we can see. Oh wow, we can't hear them. So I'm gonna have to take the mics out. We'll move that.
Okay, guys, can you say something so we can see if we can hear you?
Hello, what's up?
All right, guys, we can hear you. Everybody's looking good tonight, feeling good?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, well, I hope we can hear you guys.
Can you hear me?
There we go. I can hear you, man. Oh, there we go. We can hear you guys now. Great.
Both.
Great. Okay, good. All right. How you guys doing?
Doing okay, doing great. Thank you, Andre.
Yes,
Looking like a sweet couple that we enjoy watching.
Yep.
Great. All right. So we got Kizzy. You guys plug your channel. Let the guys know what your channel is about.
You want to talk about like the square? Talk about the channel then.
Oh, okay. So, hi guys, I am Kitty.
Hey.
So, I have a YouTube channel. about travel tips, about real life, and all time try like experience in Colombia, majority, but have other videos in other countries too. But I think the more specific is in Colombia. So if you need tips about Colombia, communicate with me.
That's right. That's right. Kids got a great channel. You guys, and Jeb is often there. So you guys definitely will enjoy them and their channel. They always do some great live streams. So if you got some questions about different areas of Colombia or other countries, you definitely want to hit their channel. Then you got my man, Domain. Plug your channel, Domain.
Okay, hello everyone. This is the main of Let's Learn Spanish TV. Well, come to my channel if you want to learn to speak English and Spanish. And I got some good videos on there as far as beginners and more advanced. As the time goes on, I'll put more videos out there.
Most of you guys have been asking me over the last couple of years, Andre, how's your Spanish? When you're going to improve your Spanish? So now I officially have Domain as my tutor starting this week. So you guys will see my Espanol improve greatly. So I'm excited about that. I got the booklets, everything that he sent me. So Domain really is thorough from watching his channel. And he's one of the original individuals that came down to Cali, Colombia when it was nobody, before there was an Ace, before there was us, before there was anybody even doing YouTube videos here in Cali. Domain was down here for quite a while. So yeah. And how was your experience back then compared to now, the Cali that you see now? You see all these YouTubers now and things like that. But when you were here, it was nobody.
Right. When I was here, it was nobody. It was original, I would say. It was untouched, I could say, uncharted. It was great for me. I loved it. I loved it. I couldn't say there was anything bad about it. I mean, you got your good and bad in every city, but at the same time, you have to be street smart and know what to do and what not to do. And if the situation looks sticky, just don't get involved in it, go the opposite direction. But I loved Cali. I got to get back to Cali. I got some friends out there, and I got a salsa challenge with La Crespodi.
Right.
So I got to get to Cali.
Definitely. All right, guys, what we're going to do is get started on today's topic. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about if you are a foreigner that's either visiting, you're on your way, you already bought your ticket to come to Colombia, or you are already here and you're like, I've been here for a few months, I've relocated, I'm not as much of a foreigner, but I'm still new to Colombia, and I've never been involved in protests and things like that. We're going to talk about a few things, at least 5 things that you can do to make sure that you have a safe but fun time here in Colombia. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is this, and we want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Realize that you are a guest and remain just that, a guest. While you're here in Colombia, you are not a native unless you're like Kizzy. And like Andre, you're a native. You understand the political landscape. You understand what's going on in the country. You know the areas of your city, which is the best areas to be in and the areas not to be in. If you are a guest, realize, I don't care if you've been here 5 years, 3 years, like me or other individuals, realize that right now, because you are not part of the history of Colombia, you are still considered a guest. What do you guys have to say about that? We'll start with Kizzy, then we'll go to the main.
Like being a visitor. A visitor versus a native person. How they should be in Colombia right now.
How is the situation?
Like how you should be if you're a visitor or if you are a native person.
Okay. Sorry guys, my English now is, like the perfect. But help me with the translation. And okay, so the situation in Colombia right now is sad, but because there are protests, there are protests because the government want change the rules, with other reform, want more increase the taxes in Colombia, and change to the rules about the health in Colombia, the healthcare, So this is like the more important thing right now because the town, when I talk about the town, I'm talking about the population, like the people. Yeah, okay. So the people is tired right now because all time the government nothing in the town, you know. Only when they have more money, they more rich, and the normal people more poverty, you know. And the situation right now is in Cali specific. There are many protests in different points in the city, and it's amazing. For me, it's amazing, guys. So. And the government say right now, like the president say today, say like he like talk with the Congress for delay that, but the situation is he said that, but one other present other reform, you know, and it's crazy. Okay, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But okay. Many people maybe can say, oh, okay, that's amazing, win, but really no win. Need to stay
vigilant.
What?
Stay vigilant.
Exactly, vigilant.
Right.
And you know, so okay, but specific about is healthy or not healthy visit Colombia right now? I think depends, because depends what area you want visit. Because for example, in Cali, is many people. I think Cali and Valle del Cauca in general is the people more strong, but there are other cities like Bogota very strong too. So Medellin is strong, but I think not like Cali, you know. For example, if you visit Cali right now, you know, can do nothing. You know, can visit like tourist places because everything is full with people protest, you know, and basically you lose your money if you come for visit for first time, you know, it's, you know, can do nothing. And I think about that, no visit right now Cali, specifically Cali. Maybe you can go to other areas with less protest, you know. But Cali, I think no is a good idea right now if you want visit and meet the city. I think it's about that.
Yeah, I think, you know, what you're saying, you know, Bay, makes a lot of sense, I think, but also why you would want to come right now. Like, what is your purpose? For example, you know, if you have family here, if it's more of like an intimate, you know, visit, then obviously that's a different story. If you're coming for just to enjoy as a tourist, then things are going to be a lot more difficult, because the whole infrastructure, you know, with tourism and transportation and everything associated is compromised right now. So it's going to be very difficult to really see the city, enjoy the city.
Right. Right. That's true. The main. How
Yes.
about now? Let them know where you are and how things going there with you.
Okay, I'm in Medellin right now. I'm in Medellin, Colombia. I'm near a place called Laureles. And here in Medellin, they have protests. They have some, which may be violent protests. They have peaceful protests, but it's in pockets all over the city. It's a pretty big city. I think it's like twice the size of Cali. So it's like, to be safe, if you see a crowd going that way and you see things heating up, you go the opposite direction. Just stay away from it. As a person who is living here, but I'm not a citizen of this country, I don't have any input or say what goes on. So my opinion is not valid, or my opinion doesn't hold any weight. So, you know, I just stay away from the crowd, stay away from the protests, and, you know, that's all I can do, basically.
All right, great. Okay.
Guys, sorry, I want to say other thing very important about Valle del Cauca. Right now, the situation about transportation, okay, the ways, the street is blocked. You know, can travel to other country, to other cities, sorry. And even if you want travel in for flight, it's difficult too. For example, today, the Avianca company say cancel everything, the flight to Cali, you know. And this is the situation right now. You know, can come. This is the thank you, babe.
Oh, oh, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely. So remember, guys, like you just mentioned a moment ago, there's a lot going on, especially in Cali. We know that from talking to other individuals such as Los. Los was saying, who lives in Cartagena, he's saying that there's not as many protests. So there's not rioting, there's not looting going on in Cartagena. We were talking to our friend this morning, Dee. Our friend Dee. She's on her way. Right.
She's in San Andres right now.
Right. She said that they're not protesting over there. So.
No. The serious problem is here in Cali. And like you say, and I totally agree with her, it's not a good thing visit to Cali because Cali looks horrible. Cali looks horrible. The stations are burned, the bus stations are burned, they are destroyed. They're not tourists right now. There's not food right now. So it's not good thing to come into, especially to Cali. Like the men say, and I do watch so many videos in Medellin, and yeah, they have been protested, they have been supporting Cali. I appreciate so much, but it's not too rough compared to Cali.
Right. How is it when it comes to, we're going to start with the main with this question. How is it when it comes to food and shopping right now? When it's time to go to the grocery store? Because you could be here as a guest, and as a guest, a person that's just relocated here, you may not know where to go to the store. You're stuck in your Airbnb or you're stuck in your hotel, and the store that's down the street has been looted. And so how is it down where you are in Medellin?
Well, fortunately for me, I've been here for a while, and I know the city, so I have different stores I know to go to in my area and outside of my area. There are some stores that got a lot of supplies, and some stores that are running low on supplies. So the problem is you have to coordinate where to go and what day to go to because they have the pico y cédula. Now, most of the time, a big chain store like Éxito, they're going to be looking at your ID and checking it. But some local stores, they may ask you for your ID number. So what I did, I had to do a survival mode and tell them the last number on my ID to match the day that I was trying to go to that store. So sometimes they won't check your ID. You just say, for instance, if your number is a 4 and you're going on the day of 6, just tell them the last number and end it with a 6.
Yeah, that's super. For example, today I went to Éxito and they didn't ask for any pico cédula. They know that the people that the people need to buy food because tomorrow we don't know. Like he said, you understand my point. Tomorrow we don't know what's going to happen, right? So it's the fact is today it wasn't any food over there, and I sent some videos to our chat on WhatsApp. So, it's hard. There's no pico cédula right now because the malls are closed, and the big store doesn't have any food, and the local store they don't have any food either. So it's hard. It's hard for us.
And even on the other side of the city, we noticed that maybe you guys can tell us about your side of the city, but we noticed that now people have to stand in line, long lines to just get into stores to get the food. How is it over by where you guys are, Jeff?
Andre, we haven't ventured out as yet. Thankfully, we cook and we pretty much do a lot of, in-house cooking. So, we're good right now. We haven't ventured out to see exactly how is it in the supermarkets. We have ordered, Rappi's been a huge lifesaver for us. So we've been leaning on that quite a bit. Tomorrow we have intentions of testing the waters to see how it is, and we're gonna be stocking up because as you guys say, we just don't know what's going to happen. Things are very volatile, so we're gonna be prepared.
Yeah, for now we are good, thank God. But the situation in Cali, I know because my best friend yesterday communicated with me. She go to the supermarket, Super Inter, and she say it's crazy. It's alone, everything. So it's obviously worry. And obviously, for example, in Buenaventura, block the traffic for people with food, Right. And Buenaventura is very important port in Colombia. So because he go for different cities with food, with different things,
It's a big area for exporting goods.
Exactly. And if it's closed or blocked for affect everything. And I know maybe today is worry the situation, but if the situation is more long, so maybe in 2 weeks, no have food, no have nothing.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you are in Colombia or in Cali specific, I think, or in the Valle del Cauca, I see it's necessary go to
Prepare.
exactly prepare and buy food. Even for example, BME buy food for Rappi.
Yeah.
But for example, yesterday,
Yeah.
impossible
True,
buy
Yeah.
food for Rappi.
Yeah, that was
Everything
interesting. Yeah.
closed.
A lot of restaurants are closed.
And BME yesterday go to the protest and look, the restaurant closed,
yeah.
little open,
Yeah.
and if open, close very early, not
Yeah.
like normal, you
Right.
know. So it's important prepare and get food
Yeah.
with time. I
Yeah,
think.
it's very reminiscent, Andre, you know, for when COVID first hit the States. You know, I remember everybody was in a frenzy. We're trying to get supplies. You know, it's very reminiscent of that. So it's just kind of like, you know, that scene all over again. But in this instance, it's more of a social justice issue.
Right. And it's kind of funny that you brought that up because my mind was actually going that way while you guys were talking. I was envisioning what went on in the States to where they got to the point where everybody was buying toilet paper and food and all type of things during that time period. Right around this time last year. The funny part, right around this time last year, March, April, May, when the pandemic really hit the United States, and that's when everybody started panicking. But you're right, this is on a political scale. The number two thing that we want to talk about is when it comes to if you are a foreigner in Colombia right now, whether you live here or whether you're visiting right now, number two thing we want to talk about is wrong crowds at the wrong time with the wrong results.
Like being in the wrong area.
If you find yourself, you come to Colombia, you know how we are. You know how we do in the States. We sit back, we see a car accident, we walk around, we hear something, we going outside to see what it is. All of a sudden, there's a crowd around. Right. Sometimes the crowds are the wrong crowds. The protests and the marches, that's where you want to, if you want to go see something, see the protests and the marches. But the rioting and the looting, you do not want to be in that crowd because police officers are right now, they are really
aggressive.
Yeah, they're really aggressive. I like how you put that. What tip in regards to wrong place, wrong time would you give somebody, a Jeff or a Kizzy, in regards to Cali or any city?
You want to go first or want me to go first? Okay, so Andre, great question. I would say if you're visiting or if you're here, you know, as an expat or a visitor, just, you know, I think, you know, Bea and I were talking about this before, and just inform yourself. You know, it's important to be thoroughly aware of the news on a national level and a local level, right? You know, being aware, you know, what's going on, informing yourself, following government channels on social media. Obviously, you know, it's, you know, you can translate, you can kind of follow exactly what's going on in your specific area. But regarding the crowd situation, I would say, you know, just be conservative. You know, if it doesn't involve you, don't go there.
Right.
You know, I would just be very, very cautious because number one, the language barrier is a huge thing. You know, obviously, you know, we have the sense, you know, and that gives us some awareness of what's going on, kinda, but we still really don't know, you know. And if you don't know, just don't go. That's just my approach. You know, I'm very conservative. Thankfully, you know, Bea and I were together, so you know, she's the navigator, and you know, I've learned quite a bit with her and from her with knowing where to go and why, right? But for example, one block may be good, but then a couple streets down, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
So just exercise extreme caution, and I would just be very cautious. When in doubt, just you know, err on the side of caution.
Absolutely correct. Somebody just posted a question in the comments, and I'm going to come to you, Domain, in regards to this question. Somebody said, brothers, do you guys have any plans to exit the country?
Well, as of now, I have no plans to exit the country. I don't see it that it's going to get that escalated where I would have to leave. But if I see things getting worse and I have to get out of the country, then I will. I know what I plan within the next month or the month in June, I'm going to go over to Ecuador, but come back. Right. As far as exiting, just saying, packing up my bag and say goodbye for good. I don't have any plans right now.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, the same for me. Obviously, I think this is going to be. I don't think it's going to be a permanent issue. I think it's very reminiscent to the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Where we had a protest like that, Andre, where people it didn't sit well with a lot of people, and the people spoke. And I think the Colombian people are speaking now on this political issue. Nothing is infinite. I feel that the people will be heard and a resolution will come, and I really don't feel threatened or feel driven to leave right now.
I feel the same way. One of the things that I've noticed, I don't know if you have something about the same.
No.
Okay. One of the things that I noticed is that after the few days of looting and the few days of rioting, that part is starting to calm down. And now the message of the protest is starting to shine a lot more. So now you start seeing the peaceful marches. You're seeing people honking their horns going down the street. You see people really embracing what it's all about, trying to fight against the proposal for these taxations. You're starting to see the message get out more. Like the first couple of days was all about the riots, the protests, the looting. But now that they've basically stolen everything, now the message of the protesters each day is starting to get out. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You start to see a lot more protests on television, a lot more marches on television, and not just people running around rioting. So I do appreciate that they're showcasing that part as well.
Right, and I think when it comes to the looting and the rioting, obviously it's not a great thing. But obviously when you have that volume of people, speaking out, there's gonna be discrepant issues and behavior. But I think as a whole, Andre and guys, when these things happen, they're done for a reason, and it's to get the attention, of the people in charge, and unfortunately, these acts, must commence to really grab the attention, of those in power. I just pray and hope that it's not to a severe extent and it dies down.
The next topic that we're going to talk about in regards to being safe, we're going to come back to this question that somebody posted. Come back to this question in a moment. But the next statement that we have in regards to being safe here in Colombia, if you are a foreigner, is realize like the main and like Kizzy and Jet have just been saying right now, and even Andrea, everything is limited. Your opportunity to go to the grocery store is limited. Receiving delivery from Rappi, which is there, back in the States is DoorDash, food delivery. All that is limited. Amazon products. We got a new set of furniture coming. So our furniture's not here. We got a new office that we're setting up. They email us. They tell us, hey, your office furniture is still in the truck. And so we already know that everything is limited. We know that the food here is limited. So don't take for granted that what food you see at the grocery store today may not be there tomorrow. What do you guys have to say about that? We're going to start with the main in regards to realize that things are limited. Even the clubs, even if a club or a bar was open, it's going to be open. If it was open, it's going to be open for a limited time, and not to late night have the fun that you're normally used to. What do you have to say about that, Domain in Medellin?
Okay, so for here in Medellin, I would say as far as going to a bar or a club, don't even have that ideal in mind at the moment. Don't look towards that ideal maybe till maybe June or July to be on the safe side. Don't get your expectations up high and get let down. As far as shopping for groceries and food, find various places you can go to get the food that you need and stock up for at least, I don't know how much ever space you have in your refrigerator. If you don't know how to cook, go to YouTube, learn how to cook, because it's safe to have a supply and be able to use the supply as opposed to being caught out there without anything to feed yourself. That's important. Look for secure your food supplies and your nourishments.
Right. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Do you have anything to say on that, Dave?
No, like well, talking about what Keith is saying about the port that we have here and we're discussing like why Cartagena is not doing the same thing, or why Cartagena doesn't have the problems, because Cartagena got just only two important ports in Colombia, Buenaventura port and Cartagena port. So Cartagena is good in that point, but now that in Buenaventura they blocked the entrance and the access of the truck, the big trucks that come from China and from around the world. The interest here in South Colombia is in Buenaventura. Now that is blocked, and tomorrow is gonna be it's gonna be still a block. So there's so many companies that are losing money because they don't have the merchandising to still working. So is one of the points. And now when it comes to the airport, there, my mind with Kizzy mentioned that the airport is froze. It's frozen because they said that they want to take the airport and not let anybody enter and anybody out of the airport here in Valle del Cauca, in Cali, close to Cali. So the airport is frozen, and there's still people waiting to fly, but there's still people stuck in the airport and the bus terminal here too, because there's no any buses there's no way to leave the city and to come inside the city.
Wow. Okay. Great. Let me know that. What do you guys have to say, Jeff Kizzy?
Yeah, I would say, I just, going back to your first, question regarding, take advantage of the limited resources that may be available. I think it's common sense that we do that. Obviously, now is the time to be flexible and humble, right? Regarding what's available, and it's a time to be creative. So we do need to take advantage of what's there at our disposal, and and take advantage. If you see something that maybe not be your first preference, but don't think about coming back the next day to try to get it, because it may not be available when it comes to food and selection. I just think it's we just have to be creative and be opportunistic. Whenever we do see goods and supplies available. When it comes to the party and the nightlife, that's not even a question here in Cali. I think it's just more sustenance, making sure that we have everything that we need, and just hunkering down. So.
So the other situation important, guys, is about the many people with stores have afraid for open the store because many people go and rob it, even if it's closed, rob it too. So many people say no open, and obviously lose money, and it's more difficult for you get different things. Now I think it's very difficult. I think only like the big stores or big companies open, So this is the situation in Valle del Cauca.
That's a good point, kids. I didn't even think about the smaller stores saying to keep from losing their stuff, they're not going to open. I didn't think about that. So that's another reason why things are limited, because some of the stores are afraid to open because they're like, they don't want to lose the little that they have. Because they could destroy, Exodo can afford to lose a little bit. But some of the mom and pop stores, the smaller stores, they can't afford for everybody to steal everything. That would destroy everything that they worked for years.
That's true. I mean, that happens a lot in Cali, that there's no store open, or that just few of them are still working, but they just open the how to say the
gates.
Yeah, just for time, and then close again. Do your grocery shopping, then we waiting for 20 people, and then all the people out. So that happens right now. The small store, the Uno, the Justi Bueno, Confandi, so all the supermarkets, they have been destroyed by these people. I mean, come on. I can't say the word, but it's like it's dumb.
And how is it? I know, right? How is it in where you are, man? Is it is there as many stores that have been attacked as you noticed that's been going on in Cali? Was Medellin a little bit different?
Well, part of town I'm living in, I have I've been walking distance with let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 major stores. Jose Bueno, De Uno, e Éxito, and they haven't been attacked. So I just was at the store yesterday, and no, they haven't been attacked. And there's also like a local grocery store that's 2 blocks away from where I stay. So I got actually 5 stores I can go to, and no, they haven't been doing that rioting and looting in this area. Now, maybe in some other areas, like maybe towards downtown or in some of the barrios, maybe. But yeah, I'm staying away from that area, and I'm watching the stores to make sure I need to get what I need to get.
All right, great.
That's true.
We got 35 people. Was it 35, 25 people in the live stream? We appreciate you guys. Make sure you click that like button. You know what to do. Click that like button. Get to clicking. Click, 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 click. You know where it is on your cell phone. You know where it is on your computer. So click the like button, because what that does, that invites other individuals into the live stream. So that's the importance why you see YouTubers always say click the like button, because it always invites more people into your live stream. The next thing that we're going to talk about in regards to being safe, if you are a foreigner in Colombia right now, is expect the unexpected. You come down here, you flown here, you sit in your Airbnb, expect the unexpected. You may have met somebody special. You may have met a special lady or a special guy, and you're expecting them to meet you at the Airbnb, and you guys are going to have a great weekend, and all of a sudden, you find out that Colombia is protesting. And so now that special person may not be able to meet up with you. So expect the unexpected. Expect that the restaurants that you want to go see are closed. Expect the clubs that you want to go do some salsa dancing or some bachata or some reggaeton, they're closed. So be ready when you're here to expect the unexpected. What do you guys have to say about that? We'll start with Kizzy and Jeff.
You want to talk?
So okay, yes, I think if you are foreigner and you are in Valle del Cauca, so you need to expect whatever thing, because it's impossible for me to say, hey, if you are in your home, you are healthy, because the situation happens, or if you go to the protest, not happen nothing, because sometimes the police and the people, the town fight. What is clash?
Like they fight.
Okay, that
Right.
yes, depends, but for me it's very important if the people foreigner okay, if the people in Colombia, in Valle del Cauca, can maybe obviously information, but feel empathy.
Empathy, yeah. Feel
empathy.
Yeah, it's an empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy,
Right.
because today this situation is in Colombia, but I know this problem no is only in Colombia.
Yeah.
So this situation happens, I think, in all the world.
Yeah, it's just different level. Yeah.
So if you can, for example, support, not say you go for the protest if you not feel good, but maybe share in social media, because sometimes it's very important when you feel other people from other countries support. And I feel and I know if the town is the population,
It's bigger.
yeah, like together, like union,
That's
can
right.
be different change in the world, because the population, the town is more than the government, and if all the people is together, can change different things in the world. So I think is that obviously when you come, if you in Colombia, if you in Valle del Cauca, expect whatever thing. So try be obviously be safe. But wherever situation happens in the world, that you look obviously social media, you look news, pay attention with the news, because sometimes not show the truth. The people feel more afraid than the situation real happens, So for example, they and me go yesterday, and thank God no happened nothing. Really never look police. Okay, police, but never the police like bother the protest. No,
it was peaceful.
Oh, exactly. Very, very peace. So amazing. So obviously, I know we've been in the good place, So I do like this, because I know there are places like more dangerous. It's more easy for the
Right.
police go and with the people, you know. So if you want support, you can, but pay attention where place you
Where you go.
exactly where you go, because there are places
Right.
more worried than others. But even in the healthy,
Safer places.
the safest places, you can have problems too.
True.
So Andre, just to obviously I definitely agree everything what they said there, but also I know you referenced stuff as far as having like a social life when you come to Colombia, and it's very common, it's normal, for foreigners, it's somewhat of the norm, but I think now you have to be extremely careful, and I think that should not be a focus right now given the climate, right? Because it's extremely, having social relations here, it's possible now in this climate, but it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult because there's not a lot of places open. People are very cautious. People are very wary. So I think, pressing the pause button on that would probably be the best thing to do as of right now. If you just don't know anyone, if you have family and friends that obviously that's a different story.
I was just thinking the same thing, Jeff. If you are meeting that person for the first time, you're coming down to Colombia, you met the person online, or you have met that person through social media, like through Instagram, and you guys hit it off and you just meet them for the first time, this might not be a good time for the first time, because you always want to be meeting somebody in some of the most safest times there is. In other words, you meet this person, something happens to your wallet. Well, the police don't have time to chase your wallet during the time period of protesting. So now your wallet or your computer is gone. So you may want to be a little bit more, like as you were saying, a little bit more, unless you know that person or you have family or you've already been here and met that person, you want to be more leery in regards to meeting somebody for the first time here in Colombia. What do you have to say about that situation, the unexpected?
Right, I agree. Expect the unexpected. Come up with a plan A, B, and C. First thing is, if you're here, or if you're on your way here, make sure you have at least 3 different ways or a 4th way that you can feed yourself. You don't want to go hungry if things go south. Like you said, expect the unexpected. I really wouldn't come here at this moment in time to meet someone for the first time. If you already know people here, you have family here or friends here, and you're already coming here, then, just be vigilant. If you see a crowd going, if you see a protest going on, remember, if you're not a citizen of this country, your voice has no say or input. You want to support, but support from a distance and be safe. If you see people starting to loot, get away from that. You don't want to get caught up in that. That's nonsense.
Agreed. Well said.
And even if you get stopped by, let's say you're in a situation and you get stopped, your taxi gets stopped, or you get stopped by a police officer, make sure that they're saying, hey, we just let them know that you're not from here. Let them know that you are a foreigner and that you are just here to visit the country. And even if they say, well, can we pat you down? You know how we do in the States. Let them pat you down. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to have you go about your way. Because they're really focusing on the safety of the communities. It may not look like it because of the rioting that's going on, but at the end of the day, the reason why areas in Kizzy area is safe, areas in our area are safe in the main, is because the police are trying to make sure that the rioters don't take over whole cities of certain areas. So, like for example, over here, it's quiet as a church mouse. It's been quiet over here for the longest. But that doesn't mean, like Kizzy said, that doesn't mean just because we're in a quiet area now that people from the east can't come over and raid our Exito, which is the grocery store here. So definitely you want to be able to expect the unexpected, even when it comes to the police. If you're inside of a taxi or you're inside of a cab and they stop the taxi, just let them know that you're from another country. Somebody put a question up here that I wanted for Kizzy. Because I know Kizzy has people in Bogota. Are these protests happening in Bogota as well?
Yeah, protests in Bogota.
Okay, yeah. He asked me about the Bogota protest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So the protest in Bogota, are very, very strong too. It's a capital of Colombia. Obviously, there are more people. Not like Cali. Cali is the more strong right now. But in Bogota, is good. It's strong too. Obviously, the situation is similar to Cali about transportation. I have friends, and right now, like if they need like transportation, need use bike for better because the Transmilenio no working, you know. It's the same taxis, Uber is frozen. Yeah, it's the same the situation in Bogota right now.
And a lot of people don't think about the gasoline is limited. We were looking at photos of the gas stations so piled up. They have, everything is limited there.
No, I want to mention when a foreigner comes to Colombia for the first time, I think like the example that Andrew mentioned, like if you knowing someone or you testing with someone, let's say I'm waiting for you coming to visit for the first time. I think for me, it would be so selfish and say, coming to my city when all of this happened, nothing's gonna happen, baby. Everything's gonna be fine. No, it's not gonna be fine. It's not safe. I mean, for me, it's coming to right now. It's please reschedule your flight in 15 days or maybe a month. This is going to down, but it's not safe for a foreigner to come into Cali right now.
That's a good sign of, absolutely correct, babe. That's a good sign if that person cares about you or not. If they're willing to say, I know you want to come here, I want to meet you too, but this is not a good time. You may have to reschedule your flight. That goes to show how much that person cares about you. There's another question here that for individuals that are from here, from Jason, and he's saying that do you all fear that this will create or reactivate groups like the FARC?
Well, they have been in Bogota. They have been. It's the rumor that they're gonna have a coup tomorrow in Bogota. It's not sure yet, but the thing is, the government has so many. I would say, babe, so many groups and
branches. We call them branches in the United States, different branches of the United States.
They're the same part of the government. So some of them they won't do anything because the same part is like when la misma camada. So it's kind of hard. But I hope that that's not gonna happen.
What do you think about that question, Kizzy?
No, no, Kizzy.
So it's a difficult question.
It is.
It's very, very difficult to answer that. No, but it's very, very possible. So it's impossible because no, really, if real is like this group and government separate or is together. I don't know. Sometimes you see it's together, for different things. So if no is together, I think it's very possible come back because when you look, the government no is like justo con el pueblo. What is justo? Like
Cost down?
No. So no benefits for the town, the population. Many people say, okay, it's necessary change. Need maybe create one group for defense the right, the people. It's very possible. I don't know.
Yeah, as Andre said, expect the unexpected. As cliche as it is, as it might say, we have to be prepared for whatever. And I think one question is, would anyone would have predicted, the protest to this magnitude, right? When this proposal, came into play from the president, I wonder if anyone predicted this type of backlash. I don't know because I've never experienced a protest here. But that's something, that's, that I've thought about.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. Did they think when they put this proposal together that this type of, that they would get this type of extremely expensive reaction? Right. I mean, you got remember, Jeff, me and you and kids, we went to that statue of the Spanish conqueror.
The statue is gone.
It's gone. Just think about that statue is gone.
Yeah, I remember the statue.
The statue with the guy pointing. It's gone now. So, and it looked like the people were they did not only knock it down, but it looked like they were taking it away.
The statue of Antonio Nariño was
right,
too.
Which is one of the centerpiece statues of Cali.
Right.
So it's just so much that even when we get back to safety, we're going to be walking around for a couple of days just to see what's changed in the city, see what's different in the city. So that's one of the crazy things that I've noticed. Another thing that we want to discuss with guys is the last thing. You said 5 things that you want to do when it comes to. We're going to get you guys questions and statements in a second. And, but the last thing is, can you still have fun while you are here in Colombia, the main? Can a person still enjoy Colombia while everything is going on?
Well, it all depends on what you consider your ideal fun. Like I said, you know, if you're thinking about going out to nightclubs, bars, and social events like that, you can cancel that. I'm not even sure if they got tourist spots open during the day. I know for sure that eventually they're going to have tourist spots open during the day. But as far as, you know, since this just started happening towards the weekend when we're supposed to have 24-hour lockdown, I'll see tomorrow when I go out and go to like a Centro Comercial and try to go to the gym if that's open and see what happens. As far as having fun, like I said, you know, depending on what you're looking for to have fun. If you're talking about going to like social, like party clubs and bars, and you can cancel that for now. I mean, you may be able to go to a bar in a tourist area during the daytime, but as far as anything at night, you can cancel that for now.
Right.
Right.
What about you guys? Do you think that it's a way to still, if you're a tourist that's here, you got trapped in the protest, is there a way to still have fun in Colombia?
Yeah, I think you know, it's just interesting to see what's going on in Medellin. Obviously, it's a different climate. I think it's more favored for, you know, foreigners, and you might be able to get away with, you know, some fun in Medellin. But in Cali, what do you think, Bae?
Okay, my real opinion is this. In Medellin and in Antioquia in general, there are more people support the government, you know, because no, it's too much. So obviously in this city or in this departamento, right, is more easy right now. The situation for this reason is like more easy, you know. But in Cali, in Valle del Cauca, the people really open their eyes and say no, and the situation is more difficult, and tours not possible right now, yeah, in Cali and in Valle del Cauca. It's my recommendation, and it's the more logical, you know, yeah, because everything is full with people protests. Yeah. It's impossible you go for whatever place. And the way is blocked, no transportation. No.
So Andre, I think, you know, just to kind of piggyback on that is it's interesting because Bae alluded to it, you know, briefly, right? We have to be careful. But, you know, each city or each area you know, seems to be protesting differently. Some areas are more aggressive with the protest. Some are not as aggressive. And I think there's a reason for that. And I think, you know, with Cali being the 4th largest city in Colombia and maybe not being as celebrated or as being supported, you know, on a national level, you know, some may agree, some may disagree, you know, we're seeing a lot more resistance, you know, with Cali, right? Because the level of support or notoriety is different, you know, from Medellin versus Cali or even Cartagena. So the energy is going to vary from each city to city. Now, to answer your question specifically, I think I would have to agree. It depends. As the gentleman said, it depends on what your definition of fun is. If you're a homebody and you just want to, you know, a different pace of life, a cheaper, you know, cost of living, and you just want to work at home and be very, very conservative, then yeah, it may work for you. But I think as a whole, no. You know, it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation because even in commuting, even in, you know, your day-to-day, you know, and activities, there's question marks with that. So I would say no.
And I have to agree with you, and I was thinking the same thing. You and I have been thinking a lot the same tonight. The location, because it's completely different in Manisalis, Armenia, Pareda area, the coffee region compared to the larger cities. Also, the coastal areas like the San Andreas, the Cartagenas, the Bogotas, the Santa Martas. We aren't hearing as much bad news as far as protesting and rioting as you are hearing here in Cali and maybe a little bit in Medellin or a lot in certain areas of Bogota. So you're right. It depends on the location that you're in, because if you go into some of the small areas, it's not like that. So you still can get around. You still can do what you need to do. If you're in Pareda, you can still probably get around if you're still in Manizales. So it's a completely different atmosphere.
I think a lot of it has to do with socioeconomics. For example, the poorer the region, I feel you're going to see more of a resistance. More affluent areas may not be as aggressive. That's just my take. Observing as a foreigner.
That's a really good point. Those of us that live in the more affluent areas or zones or stratas, am I pronouncing it correctly? Stratum. Stratum. Okay. Oh, thank you. They are not as, well, we are not as out there with the signs. Maybe because a lot of the violence isn't in our area. Or it could be also some of us, not all of us, that are in the areas. To be honest, you can attest to this also, Domain. You may not feel the pinch of the taxation as much as others that are in the middle class. You see what I'm saying? When you're in the upper middle class or when you're in the upper area, you may complain about, okay, taxes are going up, but you're making enough money to where it's not going to hurt you as much as somebody that's just regular middle class in Colombia, because they're only making a certain amount of money. How do you feel about that statement I just made?
That statement you just made, I have to agree with you. If you're not really going to be affected by the tax reform, you're probably not going to have any involvement or any input in it. I guess it all depends on how personally it's going to affect you, is how much involvement you're going to get into as far as the protests are concerned. Most people who are foreigners here are not going to have any effect with the tax reform, because if you're gaining and earning an income, you're not really much earning an income through the taxation of the Colombian government, number one. And number two, if you're retired and you're just living here, well, taxes may increase, but as far as your retirement is, if you're from another country, the taxes are not going to really affect you enough. You want to go out there and protest, or it's going to rub you the wrong way.
Right, absolutely correct. I think the biggest dent that we probably feel, and I'm going to let Jeb speak, Andre and I will talk about this, is probably the increase in prices, like at Exito, to help pay for the repairs, the tolls that's coming in and out of the airport. Somebody's got to pay for all that repairs of the tolls. So the tolls will cost a little bit more. The buses, the price for riding the bus might change by a couple pesos to make up for all those buses that got burned. So we may not feel it by way of taxes, but we may feel it by way of taxation on everyday increase of products, the increase of price of products. We have to say
Yeah, absolutely, Andre. I agree with you 100%. I think this definitely has, a widespread effect, whether you're an expat, visitor, or local. You are going to feel it in some way. So this is something that you cannot be blind about. You have to be aware. You have to be informed. As our counterpart said, it's just a matter of how involved are you going to get, amid all of this, right? I think, just being informed, supporting what you feel is right, and just being conservative, with your day-to-day movement, is the best course of action right now. But I think, we obviously have to plan for, whatever's going to come from a socio-economic standpoint, because today you may be good with your pension or whatever that you're making, but it may, things change, and it can have a cascade effect. So I think expats earning foreign dollars, you definitely have to pay attention to that as well.
True, because the cost of the value of the dollar.
Absolutely. It adds up. It adds up.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So guys, we've gone through the comment section. We've gone through the 5 things that an individual needs to do in regards to if you are a foreigner in Colombia right now during the protests. Some of the things that you need to do to make sure that you have a safe time while you're here. Colombia is still a wonderful country, beautiful people. Like I always say, beautiful people in a beautiful country. So you will definitely appreciate that. Once again, guys, plug your channel. Yes, Andre heard something over there. Give us a plug to your channel, Jed.
Right. So, guys, I want everyone to follow La Crespoide. Obviously, it's the curly hair. She talks about the travel, obviously Colombian experiences, travel experiences, reviews. Be sure to follow her channel and follow me. Jeb's journey, just showing my experience from an expat point of view.
Yeah. So yes, guys, please follow us in our channel. So basically, it's about Colombia.
Exactly. Our experiences.
So, and if you plan visit Cali after protest, after protest, please communicate with us.
Let us know.
Exactly. And okay, but before I want to say one thing about the topic for tonight. So I know it's difficult sometimes go to the protest and support the situation. It's not easy because many people need work, need money, need products. But for me, I think it's better if you maybe the bad situation 1 month for go to the protest and support the situation, and no bad situation all your life, because it's approved these rules, this reform. The situation for all Colombian people is really, really bad.
And even for the foreigners too.
Because if you come to Colombia, but the cost of living is more high, your money, is amazing now. Pay attention, guys.
So basically, please pay attention to the news. Be informed, and if choose a side that you feel is best. And for example, understand the repercussions of what's going to happen if this thing really comes to pass, and how it's going to affect you. Don't just think that, I'm going to be unaffected, I'm going to be fine. No, because what happens here has an effect overseas, has an effect on your town, the other town. So just be aware, just be very aware, and be vigilant with wherever you want to go with this.
All right. Domain, do you have any closing remarks for individuals in regards to Medellin or your take on what's going on?
Yes, I want to say, as a person, an expat or foreigner coming to Colombia or living here in Colombia, always be vigilant. Remember, you really don't have much say in what goes on in the country. If you want to support the protest, make sure you support it a peaceful way. If you see negative influences or negative elements coming along, get away from it. Always have a plan A, B, and C as far as having supplies for yourself and your family and where you live, to make sure that you're not going to get caught unexpected with the unexpected. Always, like you said, expect the unexpected.
Right. And you want to plug your channel?
Yes, absolutely. Always remember, I teach English and Spanish. Let's Learn Spanish TV. I give lessons and helpful tips on how to learn to speak the language. Not only learn to speak the language, think in the language. That's an important thing. Let's Learn Spanish TV.
All right, great. Well, guys, we're going to wrap everything up. We appreciate all of you that have come out to watch us live on the Love Crossing Borders live stream. We appreciate our guests that came out, and we always love working with you guys. Anytime you guys, we appreciate that. Anytime we reach out to you guys, you're always available for us. We appreciate that because we like to hear from different regions of the country and different opinions. So we're not the only ones that know everything about what's going on in Colombia. So we always reach out to you guys, and we appreciate that you always show up to help us out. Guys, in the comments section, we appreciate you guys as well as the rest of the audience. Make sure that you click that like button. We've got 30 individuals that have come in today, so we appreciate that. Love Crossing Borders TV is officially back here. Also, you want to go to Andre's channel. You want to plug your channel now?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I saw her yawning, so I did that on purpose. I did that.
Yeah, my channel Andre Wallace TV, and soon I'm gonna have videos. So yeah, you guys, thank you for being here. Or I guess the main PC and her man, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, like Andre saying, it's different perspective. You guys are in different parts of Colombia, so it's different experience compared to your experience too.
All right, guys, my name is Andre. And we are Love Crossing Borders. All right, guys, we're going to see you guys later.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Have a good evening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.